A well-crafted resume is not just a document. It is a testament to your professional journey and the value that you bring. So, hello everyone. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for those of you who are joining on the replay. Massive congratulations to everyone who took part in our Update Your Resume challenge so far. The feedback has been wonderful. I personally have been really inspired by the dedication of my first and second generation immigrants to transforming themselves and how they present themselves to the world. So the transformations have been outstanding, and of course, the dedication commendable. Keep in mind that whether you're a recent grad or a seasoned professional, ensuring that your resume is up to date is absolutely vital. And seeing so many of you commit to that has been really inspiring for me. So let's reflect on the pivotal milestones that we have achieved together. So we started by zeroing in on your aspirations. You pinpointed at least 3 job positions. Some of you came up with 5, but that's fine. At least 3 positions that you were vying for. Those of you who were really zeroed in and were like, this is the one, right? We did a deep dive into those roles and understanding what was required, what the skills were required of the roles, and the qualifications for the roles. Up next was our tailoring with precision. You gave your resume the edge with really pertinent keywords. We zeroed in on those keywords and we were able to mold your experiences and align them with your target positions. So you were able to see the relevancy between the keywords and the jobs. Then we were looking at the design. Your resume is not just the words, it's your story's visual representation. So to those of you who really tuned in to the refurbishing the design, making sure that it was clear and legible, by now everyone that was in the challenge knows how I feel about columns and tables in your resumes, right? Making sure it's legible and that the length was a perfect fit for your background and your sector in which you worked. Then we looked at cultural nuances. Because most of this audience is first and second generation immigrants, it was important to me that we focus a bit in this challenge on cultural nuances. Our world is beautifully diverse. And tailoring your resume with respecting and aligning with the cultural the little in the word is escaping me right now, but the cultural subtitles. Subtitles is not the word, but the little cultural nuances of your target job location. For example, if you're in a city like New York City, you want to come with your facts, right? You want to present not just what you know, but can you actually do the job? Your experience is important. In another space, what may be important will be those soft skills, your qualifications, right? In another space, I don't really care about your soft skills. I don't really care about your experience. Do you have the certifications that we are looking for? So we looked at the different spaces in which all of you worked, and we were able to identify the cultural nuances for those spaces. So that was great. So finally, today is our final day of the challenge, and we're looking to get that feedback. So we're going to let fresh eyes give a new perspective on your resume. And we spoke about this before, which was we are going to ask our peers, our colleagues, and mentors to review our resumes. We're going to refrain from close friends and family because we're looking to step out of the shadows and get that unbiased feedback from the people who love us are always going to say that was fantastic. That's not the feedback what we're looking for, right? So we're looking for the unbiased feedback to implement insights and to refine those resumes. So as we stand on the threshold of completing this challenge, I want you to remember that each step has made your professional narrative more compelling. So thank you for being on this dramatic journey with me. It's been dramatic for a lot of reasons, but it has also been very dynamic. So I look forward to your bright futures as always. So, speaking of resumes, something came up during the challenge that I wanted to address, and it was applicant tracking systems. It is essential that we talk about these applicant tracking systems, or ATS as they're known. The ATS systems, they simply streamline the hiring process. They filter the resumes to match for the best match for a role. But like all systems, there are myths and misconceptions surrounding them. One such myth is the outdated belief that the ATS cannot handle bolding or color or certain formats, right? And your resume just has to be plain, almost like it was done in Notepad and Courier font. That is not true today. In reality, many modern ATS systems have evolved significantly. For example, in one of the healthcare systems that I work with frequently, they use an ATS that's absolutely fine with color, bold lines, shadows, and more. So that myth that the ATS cannot handle bolding, color, certain formats, that is outdated. What remains true is that those tables and columns can be problematic. So you want to be careful. I suggest that you don't use them at all, but we have our preferences. So here's where ATS gets concerning for me. It's not the applicant tracking systems themselves. As the name implies, this is a way to track applicants. It's an applicant tracking system. Where it gets concerning to me is that there's been a surge in scams that are related to ATS compliance. So what I've been hearing from my job seekers is that they're being told that their resumes are not ATS friendly. And these companies are pushing them towards unnecessary and sometimes pricey services. So I also work within the academic space, and I find that a lot of my students happen to be first and second generation immigrants. And one of them shared with me a dubious message that she received on her phone. And it stated that the resume did not pass correctly. And then they proceeded to recommend a specific resume writing website. So she was a bit confused about it, so she came to me. So we took a look at the website together. I'm not going to mention it here, but upon inspection, this website was anything but legit, right? So if you encounter in your job search a recruiter who quickly flags your resume as non ATS compliant without giving you genuine feedback, be cautious, especially if they're nudging you towards a particular service. If they say to you, your resume is not giving us the information that we need in order to move forward with your candidacy, that's one conversation. But if they're looking at you and saying to you that your resume is not ATS friendly and it's not compliant, that's a whole other helpline. So I understand, especially for my first and second generation immigrants, that navigating a new job market can be very daunting. And that's why it's all the more essential to be wary of scams and aware of scams, right? We are living in an era where information is at our fingertips, but it is not all accurate. So you want to always validate claims, report suspicious activity, and lean into your community and trusted professionals for guidance, right? I always invite you can reach out to me and contact me. Take advantage of the AdNor Docs Limitless Growth Services. You can use the link in bio to check that out. But always be aware. Ask another question. It is okay for you to ask questions. If someone is getting upset with you for your questions, provided that this is not question number 34, of course, right? You do want to ask questions. If someone is getting upset with you, take a step back and say, okay, thank you very much, and look for another source of information. Your public libraries are always great in terms of providing you information with regard to your job search. So, thank you for joining us today. Let us continue to support each other, to inform and uplift each other. If you have encountered any of these scams or you have any insights to share, please drop them in the comments. Together, we can ensure that everyone is equipped with the right knowledge to thrive. And those of you who are participating in the challenge, thank you so much. I look forward to seeing the feedback that you get on your resume. Have a great day.